don't do any cleaning. So yes, Connecticut. So thank you for joining us. Let us introduce ourselves because I know some of you may not have any idea who we are. If you're asking where the cleaners, you have no idea who we are. My name is Janoka.
And I'm Anthony.
Yes, and we are from Brooklyn, New York, living in Dallas, Texas for the past 6.5 years now. We own a cleaning business down here in Dallas for the past 5 years. We just celebrated exactly 5 years, Thanksgiving Day. We debt in 23 months. That's kind of how we started our journey on Instagram and social media. We also have a podcast, Heart Dog Hustle Podcast, where we talk about everything about business, entrepreneurship, relationship, all of the above. It's not just about cleaning businesses, but we have some of that as well. And we have a baby girl that is going to be 10 months at the end of this month.
Yes.
And that's who we are.
That was a lot. So let's break it down a little bit. So we just said we celebrated 5 years in our cleaning business. So if you guys didn't know, we own and operate a cleaning business down here in Dallas, Texas. We teach our students how to start and scale 6 or 7 figure cleaning businesses without cleaning any houses. That's part of what we're known for. Before we were known for that, we paid off $114,000 of debt. And the reason we started our cleaning business was to help us pay off our debt. We got married, we moved down to Dallas. We had a bunch of debt, just student loans, both our student loans. We got a new car. We had credit card debt, and we pretty much combined our debt, and it was $114,000. And 5 years ago, you guys are low. Turn up the volume. Are we low? Can you guys hear us? I think you guys can hear us. So we combined our finances. We had $114,000 in debt. And the main reason we started our cleaning business was to pay off this debt. Now, the kick was that when we started this cleaning business, our goal was not to clean any houses. So that's what we teach our students on how to start and scale a cleaning business without cleaning any houses. So this week, we were talking to our operations manager, and we were checking the metrics for the month. And we did about 50,000 last month, and we saw that our revenue for this month was going to be about $55,000 of revenue in our cleaning business. And it was actually a huge jump. So it went from 50 to 55. We didn't know what happened because we have an operations manager, and she essentially manages our cleaning business on a daily basis. You want to talk about how we manage it? Because people may not know that we work with contractors and stuff.
Oh, okay. So rewinding. We work with contractors. We do not work with employees for the reason that we don't host any supplies or anything. They do all of that. They have training. They know how to clean already. It makes it a bit more convenient where we just connect them. A client will book us online, and we connect the job with the contractor. So they go out and do the job and do the cleaning. So today, our operations manager mentioned that one of our contractors got to a job and it wasn't what they expected, which happens a lot, which a lot of our students come to us and say, well, what do you do if A, B, and C? What do you do if? So it's not an everyday thing, but it does happen. Sometimes people don't know, like they don't really understand what a deep clean means. So they don't check it off when they're booking.
They mean it like the client.
The client don't understand what a deep clean means. So they don't check it off when they're booking it on the website, or they don't realize that they missed that, okay, it's a separate fee to clean your windows, or that it's a separate fee for us to clean inside your oven. So sometimes they get there and things are just different from what the client has originally told us or what they put on their booking form. This one in question, it was already a bigger home, and our contractor got there and it's a post-construction. A post-construction means that your home has had some type of construction or work done in it, and now you want it cleaned. It doesn't always mean that it's the entire home. It could mean a bathroom, a basement, some part of your home had construction done, and you want it to be cleaned, which is very, 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 very different from me just going into an average home and cleaning up clutter. It requires different supplies. It requires different time. It requires different energy to do a post-construction clean. So
I want to also make it clear. So on one of the things that we teach our students is that on our booking form, we make sure that we have certain qualifications so that our goal is to make it as easy on the client as possible to book our services. So this is how we stand out from the competition. Like people always say, like, I'm worried about being in a competitive market. I'm worried about the competition. This is how you're able to stand out. Our goal is to make our clients' lives as easy as possible to book our services, meaning that they go on our website. They don't have to talk to us. They don't have to see us. They can choose their services. So some of the services they can choose on our website, which we always talk to our students about, are they can do a deep cleaning, they can do a standard cleaning, they can do a move in, move out. But when we started this industry, we didn't know the differences and the nuances between each of those types of cleanings. And we don't expect any of our students to know when they start.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and specifically with post-constructions, we had it on our website before. And we honestly took it off because of the headache of a post-construction. So you need to have specific people that know how to do the clean, and not every contractor knows how to do that. It needs to be a team. Like I said, it's most likely more time and more work that they're long amount of time that they're going to be there. So we actually had to ended up removing it because we're like, we can't really handle the capacity of if it keeps coming in. We only had one team that can do it. And if 3 people book on the same day, we can't handle it. But it's different when the team that can do it shows up to a home and we're like, and they're like, okay, this is what it is. Then we'll try to figure it out. So just want to clarify, we don't market it. However, because this specific team knew how to do post-construction, we're like, okay, you know, if you feel you can do it, let's get it done. So the process of that, which people, I know that's a question. And so what do you do? Our contractor gets there, says, this is a post-construction. They reach back out to our team, our operations manager, letting them know, hey, this is not, this is more than what they say. We speak with the contractor and negotiate rates as to what the contractor is looking to get paid for the job. Like, how much do you think this is going to take? How long do you think it's going to take? Because now we have to communicate with the client and let them know this is different from what you said. This is what the price is going to look like. And the client has the option to say yay or nay, right? I know a lot of times people say they get worried about that, about stating it and letting the client know. The worst they can do is say no, they don't want it, right? And then you can figure something out from there. But this specific client understood. And the biggest thing that I think Anthony always mentioned is like letting the client know the value of what you're saying and the reason behind it. Not just like, okay, I have to charge you extra $400 because it's not what you said. Based on the pictures that was shown, we're going to have to spend more time. This requires more supplies. We're going to have to cancel some of our jobs that we have after you because we'll have to be here longer to make sure we get the job done. This specific client, this is going to be a 2-day job, which occupies our teams for 2 days. So things like that, really explaining to them and letting them know the reason behind charging them more versus just saying like, it just needs to be more because it's more work.
So want to just kind of reiterate. So when your team, or if you're, I need to know, do we got any CBU students on here? Cleaning Business University students? Drop CBU in the chat, because you get nervous when your team gets to a place and like, oh my God, what happens if they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to show up, or they don't know how to address the situation? So when they get there, their job, they're professionals. We only work with certified professional cleaners, which mean that they already have a cleaning business. They've already been in the industry. They get paid to do jobs. They're not just cleaning their mom's house. They're not just cleaning friends' houses. They get paid. We got a bunch of CBU students in the house. All right, cool.
A lot of you guys on here.
Perfect. All right, Cleaning Business University. You guys don't know what CBU is. That's Cleaning Business University. So a lot of times all of our cleaners work with other professionals, meaning they get paid to clean. They're professional. They're certified. They're not just cleaning their friends' homes. They're getting paid professionally to do the job. So they already know what to expect. And then even in your interview process, you are asking them questions to find out what their mindset is when they arrive at the home. Because you as a business owner, you can't be there 24/7. You can't be there 365 as a business owner. So your goal is to find out what's their mindset when they arrive to the home. Future CBU student, okay. So your mind, you're trying to figure out how do they react in situations, because we know a lot of people are really good at what they do, which is just cleaning. But a lot of times they may not understand the mindset around like, listen, I'm not sitting there waiting for you all day. I'm not sitting there waiting for you to call me or text me all day. So I need to know what's your process when you arrive to a home, so that when you call or text me, I already know you did a few different things.
Mhm.
I already know you did a few different things to figure out what the problem is before you even call or text me.
Yeah.
So we're interviewing people who are qualified not only to do the cleaning, but also has a common sense,
Right.
which is not always common if you think about it.
And part of that process would be, taking pictures to show us, right? Let us know what you're seeing. Because, you have some people that say, this is horrible. You look at the pictures, you're like, okay, maybe it's not so bad, right? So
Customer service mindset, exactly.
Part of that process is having them, send the pictures over. Let's discuss. Let's figure out how much this is going to cost. We always like to put it back on our contractors. Like, you are the expert in this field. You are the one that cleaned. How many years you've been cleaning? What do you think this price should be? What would you, if this was your job and we weren't involved, how much more would you charge for this? How does it make sense? And then maybe you negotiate it down. Maybe you say, okay, we'll go with that, and then discuss with the client. And I saw somebody say, like, they get scared to kind of talk about it. I understand it. At the beginning, I totally get it. I feel like as you get more comfortable in the business, it becomes easier for you to kind of sell your services and kind of stand by why you should charge more and why, it's going to take more time and things like that. But you kind of have to do it, because then there's some people that's going to run all over you. And then obviously there's some situations that you're like, it's not worth the fight, right? I understand that as well. But for this situation, if we did not go back and tell the client anything, this was a extra $1,500 that we had to charge this client. An extra $1,500 we had to charge this client. Say we were just being scary, or and decided, like, let's just leave it. I'll give you extra money on our side to our contractor. We would have lost an extra $1,500. So I think the $1,500 is worth you getting over your fear and kind of talking through it. And like I said, the more you do it, the more you become comfortable with it. Another thing I wanted to address, there's 3 or 4 of you that said future CBU students. Right now, we have an end of year special, which is the first link in our bio. We have an end of year special, which is the first link in our bio, which is $9.97 plus 2 free months into our community, our paid community, right? It is $9.97 plus that. If you didn't know, the price is usually $14.97. Usually $14.97. So right now we have that end of year special. Don't say we didn't tell you. Hope to see you on the other side.
And next year. And if you guys didn't know, as we learn more about the industry, as we learn from more for our students, as we add more value, the price continues to go up for Cleaning Business University. It only makes sense. We just hired a community manager for our community. So that's a great question, Miss Baker Simone. So what happens if the client isn't willing to pay? In our actual, before they book our services, in our system, there's an email that goes out to them. They get 3 emails before we go to the job. So if they book today and their cleaning is for Friday, they get an email today saying, here's a list of your services that you pretty much chose. And then they get 2 other emails. And in each one of those emails, you get to say in your terms and conditions that this is based on what the condition of the home is, based on what you said on your form. If we arrive to your home and the condition isn't the same, then we have the right to request more. And you as a client have an option, or you as a client has an option or a right to refuse the service, which is totally fine. So let's say we went to that house, right? And the client said, I don't want to pay more. So it's totally fine.
It's totally fine. There's different ways we go about it. It really depends. Very rarely do we ever have to just walk away from the job. Do we ever have to say, like, okay, we're just not doing it at all? It's very rarely. So,
that's because you don't want to put the client in a bind either.
Yeah.
So if it's a service like that or move in, move out, they normally have a date that they got to either move in and move out by. Mm-hmm. So you try to find some sort of common ground.
There's multiple ways. There's one, the system that we use provides that estimated time that it would take to do a job, right? So they book a standard cleaning, the job say it will take 2 hours. We get there, like, this is going to take us 4 hours. What we tell the client is, what you booked based on the system says 2 hours. We will clean for those 2 hours. Anything over that, we would have to charge more. So the client says, okay, fine, focus on whatever you can within those 2 hours. That's one option. Another option is only doing, like, cleaning certain areas. If it was, like, say for this post-construction, they're like, well, I can't spend that much to do the entire home. Well, we're like, okay, well, we'll charge this much. If you only want these 2 rooms.
What's the priority areas?
Yeah, what's the priority areas? Then this is how much we're going to have to charge. We're, just like I said, providing the value, let them know that we have to charge a certain amount more. Then for some people that outright refuse, it really, really just depends on what it is. Sometimes they outright refuse. we also may decide to just go ahead and pay our contractor a bit more for the job. If we decide like, okay, this is clearly a difficult job that they're doing, let's just go ahead and give them more, and we may eat the costs from what the client was supposed to pay. So there's multiple options, but you have to at least I want to say 90% of the time we're able to get the client to go with the price or raise the price in some capacity. Even if it's not the full amount, we're usually able to negotiate that.
Yeah, your goal is to satisfy the client and your honestly your cleaner at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So if your cleaner says, "Hey, here's how much I think we should charge for this," and you go to the client, and they say, "Absolutely not." What's the middle ground that we could agree on? Mm-hmm. Because you as a client, our job is to clean your home, obviously, or their job is to clean your home. Our job is to manage the customer service. So our operations manager, she manages the customer service, and our virtual assistant team manages that part of it. So the client absolutely does not want to spend. Your goal is to find out what the common ground is. Like, we're not in the business of like walking over clients, but we're also got to make sure that our teams get paid adequately, right? Mm-hmm. They're out there doing a very difficult and manual job. I don't know if we've never cleaned before, but we can understand that. I mean, I clean my house. I don't enjoy doing it.
But yeah, no.
So it's a very manual job to do. It's very labor intensive. So a lot of people don't understand the actual labor that it takes to clean a home. So most of the time, our clients will understand, hey, all right, yeah, I didn't realize that. The client didn't even know it was a post-construction. So he didn't know that his house was considered a post-construction, which means that you had construction done on your home, essentially. So we're not just doing a regular cleaning. We have to clean up the construction, do a regular cleaning and a deep cleaning, essentially. Yeah. But then you learn that as you get in the game. So when we have our students do our competitors research, we find out, all right, in your area, what type of cleanings do they provide? Is it just standard? Is it just deep? Is it post-construction? Is it Airbnb? Is it eco-friendly cleaning? So you have to understand, like, your competitor research is going to be able to tell you what is in your area, what are people charging, and what should you be charging. We realized that we hated doing post-construction.
It was always a headache.
It was never.
I don't think everybody has. I mean, if you've had construction in your home, you may have an understanding, or if you've been in the cleaning business, some of our students, you may have an understanding of what it takes to do a post construction. Like, you're scrubbing walls, your hands and knees getting things there. There is dust everywhere, and as you know, dust travels. So it is a different beast, and that's why we took it off, because at one point it became more of a headache, and it also felt like we just weren't charging enough to complete the post construction and still pay our teams adequate amount of money as well. So when you're doing that competitors research, just make sure as well that you can handle it also. That is not just, you're just putting it on to get more money. Make sure you have someone that can handle the job, because it's not an easy task. It is not an easy task. I want to make sure, I was just trying to see if there was any other questions that came in.
They call it all a deep cleaning. Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah, people know. I mean, and sometimes you just don't know.
What's your marketing spend per month? It depends on the month. So with our marketing spend, it depends on the month. It depends on the season as well. So right now, our marketing spend is about $4,000, but because a lot of people are looking for cleaning. So if we're going to spend money on marketing, it's going to be higher acquisition costs. So just like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, right now, everyone is marketing their business. So Instagram and Facebook and Google and Yelp are going to say, hey, if everyone's doing it right now, let's make the price higher. So acquisition, the cost per client is going to cost you more. But we know we got a huge client list. We got a huge email list. So we just send out text messages. So we could send out a text message blast that gets us that makes us $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. We'll just do that. That costs $10. Last month, I think we spent on text message and email blast. I think the total was like $100, and that bought us like $5,000 of revenue just by giving people discounts and stuff like that. So it just depends on the season you're in. Everybody right now is looking for a cleaning. So if you have any sort of list, you definitely need to be sending them emails and text messages with discounts. And our Cleaning Business University students know this. We just had Corey talk about how to get people on Facebook and how to advertise to them as well.
Somebody said, when booking, do you ask the customer to send pics of what the home?
What up, Corey, Jared? What up?
So currently, no, we do not do
Jeremy.
that.
Sorry, I'm saying what up.
Currently, we don't do that, but when we have a virtual, we never did that, but when we had a virtual assistant in place and they have more time to do that, and a client is describing their home and they're saying like, well, I'm not really sure if it would be considered this, it would be considered that, then they sometimes ask them for pictures. But when we were answering the calls, we weren't really asking for pictures. We were just going based off of how are they describing it, and more than likely it was considered to be a deep clean. But okay, so you built an email list with previous clients, then started blasting it. Yep.
So let's say you didn't have any clients and you're like, all right, I'm new to the business. It's end of the year. How would I start marketing my business? I am doing paid ads right now because I want to get an email list. So let's like one of our students, Real Man Get It Done, he's on here. He showed you how to launch a low-cost campaign just to get people on your list so that when you start getting those people on your list, you can always remarket to them. And our booking website also allows us to capture your email and text messages. Email and phone number. You need to be capturing people's emails and phone numbers. If you guys bought Cleaning Business University at any point, our goal was to get your email. That's it. And then we said, all right, we're going to get your text message. And if you were on our text message list, we blasted you today from 2 different lists. We also sent you emails. Like no matter what business you have, you need to be capturing information. You are in the information capturing business, no matter what you're in.
Okay. Are you asking a lot of questions when completing the booking? I guess you mean when you're filling out the booking form. Yeah, we're just asking the questions that's on our form and going from there, and they're providing that information.
The money is in the list, definitely.
Do you guys do Airbnb cleaning? We currently do not. We have done it in the past. We were running about 5 different units, but we no longer do Airbnb cleanings.
Yeah, at max we did like 7 units, and the goal was to get away from Airbnbs because the money wasn't there and the headaches were, and we didn't like managing essentially you're managing another business. So you're a business manager managing another business, which is the business we didn't want to be in, essentially. Basically. So we wanted to get out of that. If you're a cleaner already, you need to get CBU. 6 months in, I'm expanding to a new city. We gotta do the IG live, man. We gotta get that story.
Have you guys ever used lead providers? We use like Yelp and Google, so they would be lead providers, I would say. Those are our main ones that we focus on currently. But we speak about all the providers that we use and suggest in the course as well.
And you could use Active Campaign, you could use ConvertKit. Like these are all email things that you could use. Open Phone, Grasshopper. These are all just phone providers that you could use to like blast text messages out. We use Active Campaign for our other businesses, so you can use it for your cleaning business as well. So there's tons of services that you can use. You can get phone numbers and emails off of Yelp by simply asking them. Believe it or not, Yelp allows you to do as a client, it allows you to blast a bunch of business owners. So you'll send the same question out to a bunch of business owners. If you offer people a discount and ask them for their phone number, more than likely they will give you their phone number just by getting that discount. Hey, do you mind just give me your phone number so I can shoot you a discount code? And they'll shoot you their phone number. So just ask them for that.
So it's a manual thing. It's not just, I don't know if they were thinking you could just.
Oh no, Yelp doesn't give it to you. Yelp doesn't give it to you automatically.
You have to ask for it from the clients.
Yeah, Yelp kind of forces you to go through that stuff. We just said who we could do for text messages. You could use Open Phone, you could use Grasshopper, you could use Active Campaign, you could use ConvertKit. So average job value do you see? So on average, let me just
probably has changed. We've been using the number 200 for the longest, but I don't know if that's still our average. It may be higher or lower. I don't know.
Let's see. So they asked the average, what was the average booking? 245. So we're at 245 right now. It's the holiday season. Yeah. People are willing to spend more for their homes. So 245. If you think about doing a standard cleaning and you also upgrade to a deep, more than likely you could do about $245 per cleaning.
You can pay the contractors however you like. You can pay them from Zelle, PayPal, any of that. But within our course, we speak about the payment processors that we use currently. But you technically can use any of these free platforms to pay them. But we want to use a system that can track. So we can pay people, do 1099s, things like that.
And that's the goal. And like Genova said, our Cleaning Business University course is on sale end of the year. We got a text message from one of our students like, hey, you guys should think about doing a sale. I got some family members that want to get into the business. Listen, why not? We can help you guys out. We want to make sure that you create another stream of income as you go into the new year. Cleaning Business University is on sale for $9.97. Link is in bio, I believe.
With 2 months of our community. Now, our community, I know some of our students are on here that's in the community. I think it's a game changer because it has 40 hours plus of information that we've done sitting there, information there, 200 plus students in there, people that's been in the business for 2 years, those that have been in the business for 2 months, are all in there providing information. We are in there answering questions ourselves, doing Q&A in there. So instead of just shooting questions here, we can actually interact with you on the Zoom call. So I think our community is a game changer for those that are stuck, those that may not have any idea of what to do next, those that have constant questions. The community is the place to be, not our DMs. The community is the place to be. So having that is a huge bonus and value. And the value itself is unmatched. So
they get 2 free months. Just let them try it out. And we're doing a Q&A call this week with the community. So Corey, make sure you're there showing up, man. He always shows up. He always answering questions.
Somebody said, how much is the community per month? Currently it's $37.99. I say currently because that price will be going up. We haven't sent that blast yet, but people will be getting that shortly. But currently it is $37.99. The people that are in the community now are grandfathered in. Another little tip.
Corey, there you go.
That the price will be the price. So
community price will be going. We just hired a community manager. We just hired an operator, someone to help us out there. So our goal is continue to add more value, and the more value we add, the better our students do, the more they take it seriously, and the more they show up. And if you're looking for a new stream of income before you start the new year, make sure you tap into Cleaning Business University. Link is in bio. The course is on sale. It's first link in bio. Mm-hmm. So what other questions y'all got? And there's a ton of CRMs right now that you could use. Somebody asked that. You could use BK. You could use Launch. You could use Convert Labs. You could use ZenMade. There's tons of CRMs out there that you could use. So the CRM doesn't make or break your business at the end of the day. It's bells and whistles. It makes it nice to have, but it just depends on how you use it at the end of the day. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I forgot he said that. I think we've answered all those questions. Are there any other additional questions that we can answer? Basically, we wanted to come on and tell you, ask for the sale. Ask for the sale, because if we do not let this client know that this is what we're going to charge, then we would have lost out on $1,500. We would have lost out on $1,500. So, which can make or break. Some people, making that within a day or 2 days is a lot. So making sure that you are asking for what you know that your cleaners deserve and the pricing that you are willing to stick by because of whatever the job requires.
Yeah, that turned a $3,000 day to a $6,000 day. That one client was a $3,000 job. Mm-hmm. That one client was a $3,000 job today. So that's asking for the sale, asking for what you want in business, asking for and being prepared to ask the tough questions. Mm-hmm. How do you go in there and tell the client that I may have to double your price? Mm-hmm. How do you? That was air. How do you drop a client?
Drop a client in that maybe I'm assuming that you've been doing reoccurring for them. So this is just an assumption. You can say yes or no. I'm assuming you're doing reoccurring for them. You can either say that we're no longer servicing this area. You can either raise the price as prices are going up as well in the, what's the word that people use? Inflation that's happening. But in regards to them just being a bad client, you can also say, I don't know that we're the best fit for you. You can suggest a different cleaning business in your area. Those are just 3 different ways that you can drop a client.
We had this one client, and I think we was charging him about $200, $250 a week. We were going there for a couple of weeks consistently, and he was just an asshole. And it happens. You get those clients who are just like negative. They're just nasty to the people who are doing the job. So our cleaning team, they was like, listen, and we get it. We understand, this is a good client on the monetary side, but they're just a mean individual. So at the end of the day, we just called them and say, hey, we may not be a good fit for you. And he was pissed. He's like, how dare you? Most people who are entitled do not like to be turned down. They do not like to be rejected. So if you're an entitled person and someone rejects you, like, you know what? You don't want my money? You think you're too good for my money? Yes. Our team may be too good for your money. Yeah. And that's totally fine.
Money. We say that all the time. You learn that quickly in the business when you're chasing all clients. You realize all money is not good money very quickly. We try to tell you guys that so you don't get burned, but y'all still got to learn on your own. But all money is not good money, and every client is not for you. Period. Every client is not for you, and that is okay.
Jeremy said, dealing with a post-construction today. We cleaned someone's home that was labeled a deep clean, but it really had just been painted. Currently dealing with the fallout from dust residue. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a headache.
Paint, all that. That's just a mess. Just a mess. Any other questions you have before?
We are also going to be on one of the biggest podcasts on the EYL network this Thursday. Ash Cash, Inside the Vault. Make sure you check out that podcast. It will be released on Thursday, so make sure you guys check out that. We talked about everything from the cleaning business to running your business with a spouse to managing a marriage in a business.
That's how we know each other.
Everything. So make sure you check that out. That's why we are doing this live to kind of catch you guys up because he posted us. And we know it's going to be a busy week. So people are going to be coming in and asking questions. So we want to make sure we understand, who's finding us, who's meeting us, and making sure we come and reintroduce ourselves to you guys all week. So again, Cleaning Business University.
We used to be on here 2-3 times a week, every week.
So we're going to be in the Ash Cash Inside the Vault on one of the biggest podcasts on the EYL network, which puts us a little bit closer to being on EYL.
We have now been on some of real heavy hitter.
So let's do the real math right now.
What's the math?
The top 100 podcasts in the world, top 100 podcasts that are ran by African Americans. Oh, we have been on 10. The top 100, and 10 out of 10 of those are above 50. We've been on the top 10 to 20% of podcasts in the world.
We've been on Millionaire Mindset. We've
been
on Social Proof Podcast.
Come on, we've been on Anthony O'Neill.
We've been on Ash Cash.
Come on, keep going.
Dave Ramsey is not black, but he's a top podcast. So we've been on that podcast.
We've been on about 10 of the top 100 podcasts in the world. 10 out of the top 50.
Top it off. When did the pandemic start? 2020. So January 2020, we were on Good Morning America. So I don't know it gets any bigger than Good Morning America. That time we were talking about our debt payoff, so we wasn't talking about the cleaning business. So we've been on a lot of big name podcasts. I must say so myself.
So make sure y'all tune in to the Hard Rock Hustle podcast.
So when people come on here on our page or anywhere and say that we're just frauds and we're just not really giving information and blah blah blah, I'm like, we've been doing this for a very long time. And you can just check our stats from our lives, from our testimonials that we have in our highlights, from our comments. We show up and we show out, okay? For our students and all the people on Instagram. So thank you. But yeah, we've been on a lot of big podcasts, a lot of big we're on Black Enterprise, CNN, Money, Yahoo, all of these things we've been on.
So we'll be on here a lot.
It's the real deal.
We'll be on here a few times this week. Just letting people know who we are, because definitely that podcast is going to be releasing on Thursday with Ash Cash on Inside the Vault. Also, if you're interested in Cleaning Business University, it is on sale for $9.97. Link is in the bio.
And we have our own podcast. If you didn't know, Heart Dog Hustle podcast, it hit a year. We're at like 55 episodes. You can watch the visuals on YouTube, on our YouTube page, or you can listen to any platform that you listen to podcasts at. So we're here. We're showing up. We give value. We give a lot. We give ourselves a lot. Even if we're not on live a lot, we are still having a podcast.
And you can still find us
every single week.
Hard Talk Hustle podcast episode releases tomorrow. We got the new visuals too. We upgraded the camera setup. If you watch us on YouTube, you already know. We upgraded the camera setup. Y'all gonna see it tomorrow. Hard Talk Hustle podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We try to drop as much game as we can across all platforms. So make sure you guys tune in.
Find us anywhere. YouTube, podcast, TikTok, Instagram. You can be on Twitter. Anywhere.
So again, as for this sale, that was the whole point of this conversation. We turned a $1,500 booking to a $3,000 booking. We turned a $3,000 day into a $6,000 day just from asking one question.
And now this is our biggest day in our business ever. We've been in the business 5 years now, and this is our biggest day in the business ever.
I moved Beyonce
to the bottom. He's a hater. Okay. Now Beyonce's at the bottom. We got Iron Man at the top. He's a hater.
I put the debt-free thing there because people were just tuning into Beyonce, so we kind of removed
She's
her.
priority here.
But yes, this is our biggest day in the cleaning business, a $6,000 day. It went from a $3,000 day to a $6,000 day, and it was completely unintentional. We told you guys how to approach clients. We told you how to have the conversation. We told you what happens when they show up. We told you what happens if the client doesn't even want to pay. So we gave you our entire strategy on how to approach that situation, so that when you approach it, even if you don't have the course, or when you do get the course, you know how to address it when it does come up, because it will come up.
So that's it on our part. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. We will be back live sometime this week, probably Thursday, because we have our Q&A in our community on Wednesday. So see you guys there. And yeah, that's
Cleaning
it.
Business University on sale, $9.97. Link is in the bio. You get 2
special.
free months in the mastermind as well. And we're doing a Q&A, so it's not just you going through the course. You also have an entire community of us as well as our students answering questions and helping you guys out. Instagram, we are out. YouTube, peace.